out for your neighbor is important. I don't think anybody could really refute that unless you're Timmy Turner's dad and your last name is Dinkelberg. Just being on the lookout for your neighbors. You never know if they might be unaware of something and you've spotted something. You might be helping them in the long run or the short run, whatever. But looking out for each other is important. And today, I think I stumbled upon that. There was a loose dog on the street, and I wasn't really sure whose dog it was, but something told me to just help out. Maybe the person's right around the corner. Who knows? So I walk up to the dog. The dog doesn't run away. It doesn't start barking at me or anything. He's a cool little calm dog. I'll show him on the screen in a second. But I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And he's just calm. So my first reaction is, okay, I think it might be this neighbor's dog. So I ended up going to that neighbor's house, and that neighbor, it wasn't their dog, but they were nice enough to actually help me figure out whose dog this was. So after a little bit of time, she was like, yeah, it might be this neighbor's down the street, or it might be this other guy's. And it was a husband and wife. The husband, he's holding the dog, making sure he's cool. Now, keep in mind, this batch of neighbors, they do have dogs, and one of their dogs actually came out and started, like, who the fuck is this at my front door? Like, being real protective. But oddly enough, the dog that was lost, the dog that I found, he was really calm, and he just was chill. He wasn't trying to bark back at the dog that was yelling at him for being on the property. And I'm like, man, whose little dog is this? So the husband, he was able to look at the dog's collar, the lost dog's collar, and he noticed that, one, he had a name, and two, there was two phone numbers. There was one phone number to some kind of pet control center, and then there was a second number, which was the number to his owner. So I called the owner. The owner picked up immediately. I broke down the situation to her, and she was like, oh, I'm on my way. So we actually ended up meeting up at a spot within the neighborhood, and it was just, here's your dog. And she was real thankful about it, and she actually did give me a reward for it, which I was thankful for. But something inside me just, I didn't do it for the reward. I did it to, I don't know, something told me, see if you could find this owner's dog. And yeah, I mean, yes, of course I was rewarded, but I think it's really important to make sure you look out for your neighbors, because this was an elder woman, and I kind of felt bad because I told her to meet me up at this spot, but at the same time, I didn't want to go to her house either. I guess it would have made more sense to just drop off the dog at her house, but I just wanted a sense. I don't know if I didn't want to be, I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know if she wanted her sense of privacy or something or whatever, but the transaction went down. I keep calling it a transaction like it's a drug deal. I was able to hand off her dog to her, and the first thing she goes, oh, you're getting a spanking. I'm like, damn, hold on. hey, you shouldn't have left the house. But that was just my situation for today. I guess the moral, or not the moral, but I guess the lesson from today is to listen to your gut. I mean, if it was a bigger dog, that maybe would have been a different story. I'm not super keen on bigger dogs like that. But even then, if I would have had that gut reaction that I did today, I still feel like I would have helped out that dog. It's just, I don't know. It's something about using your gut and listening to your gut and acting on it. Plus it was, I keep going back to it, if you believe it or not, plus it was good karma. But more importantly, it was listening to my gut and following through with it. And yeah, it was just it was cool. Nothing really crazy happened. I just thought that that was a really interesting situation. Everybody was super nice in this story too. Like, huge shout out to the first batch of neighbors that I went to. Like, knocking on, I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but me knocking on somebody's door with all black on and I have a dog on my lead, like, that looks weird to me. But I'm super thankful that the first batch of neighbors, they were kind enough to hear me out and actually help me out. That was, I feel like people would have just looked at you through the door. Oh, that's not my dog. Hey, that's not my dog. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm very thankful that this batch of neighbors, they were super nice. When I handed the dog off to the owner, she didn't have to pay me at all. Like, that was super kind of her too. But something told me to help out this dog. I don't know a better way to say it, but I'm super happy that the dog is in the owner's hands. I'm sorry that you had to get a spanking, my bro. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, just be on the lookout for your neighbors and listen to your gut. Those are my 2 lessons for today.